Hello, everyone. Welcome to E2G Sports presents Ramsolohic. This is season 2, episode 1. Today, we're going to go over a few good things that actually came out today. Sean Mcvay's presser that was not open to the public, but there was notes on Twitter from Jordan Rodrigue that I'm going to go over with the Ramley. We'll talk about our 2023 free agent class, the 2023 draft class, along with our picks and LA Rams rumors. I'm going to go into the intro.
Let's swap a verse, do it. And I can play ball in real life. So when they making fun, it never work. They think they offended me. I'm dodging that energy. I know who my friends are now. You currently dead to me. This shit gon' last a century. And every time they mention me, increase my life expectancy. Maybe this my destiny. Loved and hated, then hated and loved. Never betrayed to be a thug, but know a couple who hold slugs. Ain't fighting Spider-Man, but everything I'm spitting venom. Had to look in the mirror and get my shit together. Cause sometimes you think it's over, but it's only getting better. Yeah, good friends going with the wind, like Pac said. Legends never die, so we not dead. I'm a fresh white boy, you can call me a pothead. If you say I ain't got bread, hate my life.
All right. Hey, shout out White Wave on the intro, man. Great song. All right, let's get right into it. So today, I feel there was good news for us Rams fans. Obviously, it hasn't been the case as of late. A lot of rumors going around and speculation about what's going to happen and what actually did happen. But it was good to hear from Sean Mcvay and what he feels about the team. Les Need also yesterday shared his thoughts and opinions, mainly clearing up the Matthew Stafford rumor. So McVay, just a quick shout out to Jordan Rodriguez on all of these Twitter notes. Since this was not open to the public, there's no video as of yet. I don't know if anything's gonna come out, but it kind of sucks. I was wanting to watch it. But hey, at least in the Twitterverse we stay informed. So some key points to the offensive line: Joseph Noteboom, our left tackle, and Brian Allen, our starting center. They're tracking on time with their rehab. Good news. Alaric Jackson will be cleared to return to football activities. And Coleman Shelton, unfortunately, is a free agent, but the Rams are keeping their eye on him. I would really, really like to see Coleman Shelton back with the Rams. I would personally rather have Coleman Shelton than Brian Allen. I would love to do a swap. I wish they could switch boats, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Logan Bruss, a rookie from last year who missed all of the season with an injury, is tracking to get back. Hopefully, we could see him out there and he's making good improvements. The offensive line was a big reason for the Rams' downfall this year because, your offensive line isn't protecting you. Then the quarterback has no time. The running game has no holes. It's just, it leads to a lot more issues than just that one position group. It goes through the whole offense. McVay also talked about Robert Woods and Odell Beckham Jr., two guys that I know us Rams fans would love to have back. When Robert Woods was released, the Rams fans really came out and pulled for getting him back into the Horns. I would love to have Robert Woods back. He's obviously not what he was, but he knows our system and he's a great blocking wide receiver and he knows what his role would be. And I don't think we would have to pay much, to be honest, to get Robert Woods. Odell Beckham, I know he's holding a workout, I believe, next week, open to teams. So he's definitely going to have bidders. It won't be as easy to get Odell this year as last year. I mean, he's 13 months from an ACL injury. Last year he was still injured, so teams weren't making bids at him. Not even the rumors of Dallas, the Giants, and the Bills for their playoff push. With his injury, there was no point. He was not coming back. So now you're going to have to pay a little more to get Odell Beckham. I do feel that Odell would love to come back to LA. As you can see in my right here. This picture of me and Odell that was at LAX last year after our week 1 loss to the Buffalo Bills. He loves LA. He was in the airport. All the people were showing him love. He was showing love back. He's just an LA type of guy. He lives in LA. He has the image, the marketing to be an LA guy. He's a talented wide receiver. When healthy, one of the best in the league. Even at his age and even with his injuries, I still feel Odell would be a great fit to have back in the Horns as well. If we could get both guys back, that would be great. I really don't see us getting both, which would be fine. I mean, we still have Van Jefferson. We could plug at the wide receiver 3, and we can see what Tutu Atwell can develop into. This year, he had some moments last year. You know, a big moment was that it was a 60-yard touchdown pass from Matthew Stafford against the New Orleans Saints. He definitely hit a wall at the end of the year. Seems like he really couldn't get open, and he wasn't really connecting with Baker Mayfield. But last year was just a wash, to be honest. We had a lot of moving parts. We tried to stay competitive. We went out and got Baker Mayfield, but I feel a lot of people in the Rams community felt like it was a lost season, especially losing when we lost to the Packers. You know, the comeback versus the Raiders was awesome, but we were pretty much shooting dead at that point, you know. And then Mcvay talked about him deciding to come back this year. A lot of people, even after he came back, felt like it would be a 1-year return. And then seeing all the moves the Rams are making, people are like, well, did he really come back for a rebuild, a retool? Let me stick to that. This is a retool. I'm not one person to think this is a rebuild at all. You don't rebuild with Aaron Donald, with Cooper Kupp, with Matthew Stafford. It really makes no sense. You would get those guys out of there. Not saying there's a chance that they can't get moved, but as of now, it doesn't look like that's happening at all. It would make no sense for those guys to be out there for a rebuild when we could move them and get more picks and more young. So this is a retool. You know, we're going to move on from guys, sure, on the defensive end and maybe bolster the offense. But I just wanted to point that out there. I see a lot of people talk about rebuild, Caleb Williams. I don't see it at all. To get Caleb, we would need a top pick in with these guys. And another thing also I'll say quickly, if Kansas City had Mahomes, Kelsey, and Chris Jones, and they got rid of everybody else, would you say that's a rebuild? No, you're going to say it's a retool. Just like when they got rid of Tyreek Hill. That was a retool to go to more wide receivers that are more underneath, not really look at the deep bomb all the time, give Mahomes those quick throw-off passes, which obviously worked because they won the Super Bowl. So, anyway, so McVay did say he's committed. It looks like he's got his passion back. He's got his love for the game back. You know, it happens when you go from a Super Bowl to an injury-devastated season, the LA media, you know. It's hard. He's a young coach. You got to remember that. He's in his 50s, not even 40 yet. So he's still very young. There's mental hurdles to get over. He had family issues with his wife. Our family's from Ukraine. So there's a lot going on that you probably don't see. So mentally, you have to remember these are human beings. So he's committed. And his contract is until 2026, and I do feel he is going to honor that contract until 2026. So I think McVay's in, and if McVay's in, the Rams are going to be a competitive team, I'll tell you that. One of the top teams since he came to LA, and I don't see that changing. He loves the Rams. We gave him the opportunity to be the youngest coach in the NFL. I believe he was 31 at the time when we got him from Washington. A lot of people were confused, like, what? They're going to take this young coach to take over at the time was one of the worst organizations, you know, the Jeff Fisher days, Steve Spagnuolo days, we've had rough years. So it was good to see Mcvay come in and really change the culture for us, get us back to our winning ways from the greatest show on turf. And we put on some great teams. Even after our Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, we let go of some guys and we turned it around and won a Super Bowl with just one move, the Matthew Stafford trade. So I'll never doubt this team. And with McVay at head coach, who to me is the best coach in football. I mean, Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, yeah, but I'm a Sean McVay guy. This is his first bad season. I want to see how he reacts to this. And then that'll further my point that he is the best coach. He's a genius. The cultures he puts together. You never hear of any issues with the Rams, and if they do, they get dealt with quickly. So overall, my thoughts were on this press conference sounds great, man. McVay being committed is always a plus. Players will really, be very excited to know that McVay's not leaving. The retirement talks need to stop. They're gonna try to retool that offense big time. The fact that he's talking about Woods and OBJ having their eye on them. So I think the Rams are gonna have a big off season. It's gonna be crazy. Buckle up and get ready. I wanted to also talk about our free agents that we have this year. It's a long list. There's no one really that catches the casuals' eyes, but us Rams fans, there's guys that we grow to love. This is our team. We're committed to these guys every week. It's a long season, and there's guys that a lot of Rams fans hate and don't care if they walk away. I will say, us not franchise tagging Matt Gay is okay. Relax. We typically don't place a franchise tag on any of our players, let alone a kicker. I do hope we get Matt Gay back. It would be kind of funny if he does go to the 49ers and then we could take Robbie Gould from them. It's like we traded kickers. I would prefer Matt Gay. He's been one of the most accurate kickers since he came to the Rams. And prior to coming to the Rams, he was actually very inaccurate with Tampa Bay. So we were able to just pick him up. And then he found his home. It happens with kickers. He liked the organization. He liked kicking in the stadium. So Matt Gay is someone that I would definitely think we need back. We don't want to not have a reliable kicker. We've learned that in the past. Baker Mayfield's a free agent. He's willing to come back to the Rams, but at what cost? And if he could be a starter in Tampa Bay, possibly San Francisco, or in open competition with Trey Lance with Brock Purdy injured, he might take on that chance. I would love to see him back up Stafford, but at the end of the day, we don't really have that much money to throw at a position that we're pretty good at, unless injuries occur. A'Shawn Robinson, going to be 28 years old. He seemed like he's hitting a wall. He's a great run-stopping defensive lineman. He's slow, sluggish. Not a guy I think would be a priority for us. Let him walk. I think we could add depth through the draft, through free agency, and get a lot younger on that defensive line with Aaron Donald. Taylor Rapp, safety, 25 years old. I personally would like to see him back with the Rams. I know his coverage skills are below average. He's a very good hitting safety / linebacker. He plays hybrid. I think if we could get him to commit to us on a lower contract, I'll bring him in. I definitely don't want to overpay, and the Rams typically don't overpay for safeties at all. We let John Johnson walk, who is a free agent now after being released by Cleveland. So, with Nick Scott, who's also on this list of free agents, and Taylor Rapp out, I wouldn't mind seeing John Johnson come. I would probably take him over both guys. I do love Nick Scott. Um, how can you not for what he did to Deebo Samuel? I feel that hit won us that game. Deebo Samuel went MIA. He's one of those tough guys that once you hit him in the mouth, gets a little scared to go across the middle. So I'd love to get Nick Scott back, but again, with all of these free agents, at what cost? David Edwards, dealt with a lot of injuries last year. I do like David Edwards. I think he's a decent right guard. But at what cost? Can we just let him walk and build through the draft? We do have 14 draft picks this year. I think we're going to spend at least 4 on offensive linemen, so we'll see. Mike Hoych, defensive tackle. Hoych. Hopefully I'm saying that right. A guy that really came on the scene last year with Aaron Donald out and played pretty damn great, man. Weakness was him playing on the edge. He's not fast enough. But I would love to see him and AD on the interior together. That would just be glorious. So he's someone I would assume they're going to get back, and I don't think you have to pay much for. Outside of the Rams organization, I'm not sure many teams really know of him. The teams did game plan on him to run it outside, like teams like the Raiders, Packers. And then we caught on to that and started putting more inside. But I don't think he's a commodity for teams. But for us, I feel like he should be. Greg Gaines has to be a commodity. Beast, only 25, turning 26. I would really love to have him back. Him, Hoych, Donald on the line, and then we just look at the edge through the draft or free agency. Wolford and Bryce Perkins are both free agents. I mean, I don't want to see none of them taking a snap for us in a regular season game again. So I would lean towards letting them walk. I don't really think there's a market for either guy. They might be just in the free agency pool for the whole season if we don't take them back. David Long Jr., let him walk unless he's willing to take a team-friendly deal for depth at cornerback, especially if we lose Jalen Ramsey. Matt Skura, let him walk, offensive lineman center. Ty Nashki, he's way too old, 38 years old when the season starts. I think I respect what he did for us, coming in with all of our injuries. He's a big guy, but not someone that we need to be protecting Matthew Stafford, especially with Joseph Noteboom and Alaric Jackson back. And then another big name, Troy Hill. Of course, this is another guy I'd like to have back, but I don't think it's a priority. He looked pretty off in coverage last year. His PFF grade was high, but PFF, I don't know. I watch every game, every snap, and he got burnt a lot. He's a good tackler. He's definitely getting up there in age as a slot corner. Again, I guess a lot of this comes on to what happens with Ramsey, Durant, Kendrick, the young guys. Put them on the outside, but it's going to be interesting. But with Troy Hill, it's going to have to be, do we get these team players to take team-friendly deals? They're saying as average annual salary, $3.6 million. I don't know. Maybe a one-year deal. Quickly, if you are new here or if you're a returning subscriber, please hit that like button. And if you're new, subscribe. It greatly helps us. Trying to hit 1.1K, hopefully by the end of this week. And it's really about to be the grind season again. Football's picking back up. I'll be having these Ramsolohic podcasts weekly, maybe 2-3 a week. Definitely one. And E2G Sports. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so let's talk about our draft picks. So we have a total of 14 picks this year. We had 4 comp picks from yesterday, 3 fifth-round picks, and a 7th-round pick. I'm really digging it. I think we could really get some young pieces for depth that we were slacking on last year. We have the 36 overall pick, 69, 167, all the way up until 251. So at pick 36, I really have a feeling the Rams go tight end. And I think our next few picks after that would be offensive line, edge. But there's a stacked class for tight ends this year. And I really feel, hey, what up, Nino? And I really feel our front office is going to want to go tight end. Tyler Higbee's aging. That's a big part of our offense, especially if we want to run the ball more with 2 tight end sets. I would like to see us go tight end or offensive line. One thing I hope to God the Rams do not do is go wide receiver or running back. That seems to be what they love to do. But I think after, eating some of that humble pie or Luke Musgrave or Payne Durham, you tell me, Nino, you're the college guy. Which guy do you think would be a better fit for the LA Rams? I think both guys are going to be, there's a possibility both guys could go in the first round. So, I mean, hopefully they fall to us. I'm hearing there's so many tight ends that could go in the first round that teams might wait on it. So I'd be happy with either guy. Musgrave is 5-tool tight end. See, you're the college guy. I do like Darnell Washington too. I think he's more of like a pass protection, run blocking guy. He's a monster though. And out of Georgia, so I seen him at the combine. I was like, oh god, this guy's like a beast. So either of them 3 guys to me would be great. I just don't really know if Musgrave will fall to us. But if he does, that would be awesome. Yeah, Nino is the college guy. I'm gonna start looking more into it and doing some mocks. But just from looking around, some mocks I've seen us taking tight end a lot. All right, so we're gonna end this with some LA Rams rumors. What's new there? There's a lot of speculation going around, and thank God that the Matthew Stafford bullshit got situated quickly by Les Snead yesterday. Because that would have been a lot of dead cap. And when I first seen it, I was like, all right, is this going to be a Lamar Jackson thing? Because I don't know why I've always had visions of Lamar being a Hollywood guy. But not sure we could really get it done. But hey, you could dream, right? So Matthew Stafford, Les Snead already cleared that up yesterday. He's part of the core that they're going to build around, retool. Stafford, Kupp, and Donald. So guys that can be out are obviously Leonard Floyd cut, Bobby Wagner cut, Jalen Ramsey trade. I posted on Twitter maybe, I think it was February 16th, that I had a gut feeling Ramsey was out. Now, this is before the rumors came out. Just had a feeling with his cap hit, our salary cap issues, his age at 28, he's still in his prime, but obviously right now, this is the highest value you're going to get for Jalen Ramsey. So at this point, you have to move him. Um, this is when you're going to get that first round pick. And if the Rams do move on from Ramsey and they do it for some seconds, some fourths, I'm going to be pissed off, man. Ramsey to where? I would say Dallas comes to mind as a landing spot. He could win in Dallas. Him and Diggs would be pretty dangerous together with Micah Parsons. Dak Prescott's the question mark, of course. Baltimore Ravens could be a team to get Jalen Ramsey. I think, honestly, with a cornerback like this, he could always go back to Jacksonville. There's so many options, but regardless, I want a first-round pick. So, obviously, the Lions also, that's a team. Brad Holmes, come on. Come give us one of those first-round picks back. But Holmes is a guy that likes to build through the draft, knowing that as our former GM in LA. So there's definitely suitors. You're getting the best cornerback in football, in my opinion. Yeah, Jacksonville, right? Going back to the team that got him. Jacksonville is a good team too. They're gonna be really good this year. And then Allen Robinson, his trade is gonna be rough. We're gonna have to eat some of that salary. I would like to have Allen Robinson back, give him another shot, but I don't think it's gonna happen. With Woods and Odell out there, I think the Rams are really gonna try to move A-Rob and get one of those other guys back in there. I really hope we get Odell. That would make me happy, just like I was in this picture. It's going to be a crazy offseason, Ramley. You should definitely buckle up. Stop with the rebuild crap, okay? Enough of that. Enough of the panicking. Let's relax. Breathe in. Breathe out, okay? I trust Les Snead. I trust Mcvay. Aaron Donald didn't come back to rebuild. These moves, they run it by him. Donald has that much say. He's the greatest defensive player of all time, at least that I've seen, okay? I wasn't born in the 80s. I can't talk about Lawrence Taylor. I can't talk about these guys in the early 90s. I was a baby. Talk about what I see. I've never seen a defensive player as dominant as Aaron Donald. And if I had to give a player close to as dominant, maybe as dominant, I can't say as dominant, close, J.J. Watt. Both guys have 3 DPOYs. Injuries killed Watt towards the end of his career, but he still played, and you got to love Watt's attitude on and off the field. So, yeah, just remember, it's retool, not rebuild. We're probably going to bolster our offense, play some shootout games. So get ready to see some 30-plus point games again. Let's have some fun and exciting times on offense. We got to the Super Bowl in 2019 with a subpar defense. And I think that's what's going to happen again. All right. Raheem Morris, I think, could coach up some of these young guys we're going to draft. Free agency. I do think we'll make a few signings. I don't think we're going to make a big signing due to the cap. And we're gonna ball out. NFC isn't that competitive, so we'll see. As always, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, E2G Sports, and I'm out, Ramley.
It's 4 a.m. in New Bedford, I'm getting my shit together. City just ain't safe, these kids down for whatever. Letting the lead fly, they flocking just like a feather. I couldn't stay there forever, career not getting better. I ain't a rapper, can't imagine not getting cheddar. They posting pics in they base models, not even leather. It's not even leather. It's 4 a.m. White. Wait. The city just ain't safe. I'm still